Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Taiwo Maman, Educational Consultant for Excelpath Educational Consult Ltd. So welcome back to Excelpath channel. Today we are going to be looking at an important topic for all UTME candidates, which is what you need to know before applying for change of institution or course. What you need to know before applying for change of institution or course. Many students make mistakes during the change of institution and course process because they rush into it, and most times the students do not have proper or professional guidance before applying for the change of institution or course. Now, the first and important factor you need to consider before you apply for a change or course is your JAMB score. Is your what? Your JAMB score. That is the number one factor you need to consider before you apply for a change of institution or course form. Now, today we are going to be using Unilag and LASU as case study. Unilag and LASU, we're going to be using both of them as case study. Now, assuming Mr. Tunde Ajanle Koko applied to study accounting in Unilag. Another factor you need to consider is your UTME subject. UTME subject. Most of UTME candidates, you go and change your course to a course that you are not qualified for. You change courses to courses that you are not qualified for. There are many factors you need to consider before applying for a change of institution and course. Now, we are looking at Mr. Tunde Ajanle Koko, who applied to study accounting in Unilag. His UTME subject, he wrote, he searched for use of English, math, economics, and account. And he had 204. He had 204 in JAMB. Total score is 204 over 400 in JAMB. And his first choice institution is Unilag. He's on O level. Another factor to consider before applying is your O level result. You need to have your O level result, a strong O level result, before you consider. And make sure you calculate your aggregate score very well. Calculate aggregate. Now, Mr. Tunde scored 204 in Unilag. Most importantly, you need to know how aggregate are being calculated in the institution you choose. Like Unilag make use of JAMB, your O level, and post JAMB to calculate aggregate. While LASU make use of just JAMB and O level alone. Now, for Unilag's percentage for JAMB is 50%, O level is 20%, post JAMB is 30%. All give us 100%. LASU is JAMB is 60% and O level is 40% for LASU. And this JAMB score for Unilag, to get the 50% aggregate for your JAMB, for the JAMB score is your JAMB score, which is 204 for accounting in Unilag, 204 for JAMB, divided by 8. 204 divided by 8. That is for the JAMB out of 50%. So 204 divided by 8 will give us, divided by 8 will give us 25.5% out of 50% in JAMB. Now, it's O level. It has 5 O levels, 5 credits. That maybe you have 3 B3 and 2 C4 in JAMB. It has 3 B3 and 2 C4 in JAMB. 3 B3 in is O level result, and B3 is 3.2 for unilag aggregate calculation, 3.2 and 3.2. C4 is 2.8 and 2.8. So adding up all this will give us a total of 3.2 plus 3.2 plus 3.2 plus 2.8 plus 2.8 give us 15.2%. Now, is JAMB is 25.5% out of 50%. Is O level is 15.2% out of 20%. Now this will give us a total of 40.7% without post JAMB. Now, the aggregate for accounting on merit in Unilag is 75.6% aggregate for accounting in Unilag. So you subtract this 40.7% from the 75, so you have 75.6 minus 40.7 will give us what? 34.9. So you need to have 34% in post JAMB, which is not possible because post JAMB is 30%. So it cannot do accounting in Unilag. Now, some of us we don't consult professionals for guidance. We now say, okay, since I can't meet up this point in Unilag, let me go and do it in LASU, accounting LASU. You are coming out from frying pan into fire. You know why? LASU is the #1 most applied institution in Nigeria, meaning that LASU is going to be very competitive in all its courses. In all its important courses. So okay, let's say let's assume that you want to go to LASU. LASU uses just JAMB and O level in their aggregate calculation. Your JAMB score is multiplied by 0.15 to give you the 60%. So you have 204 in your JAMB multiplied by 0.15 for 204 times 0.15 is what? 30.6% out of 60%. And aggregate for accounting in LASU on merit is 70%. So you have 30.6% for JAMB score. Now 40% for O level. Let's say this is your O level result. Now LASU don't use this point. LASU use for B3. B3 in LASU is 6 points. 6 points. 6 points. C4 in LASU is 5 points. 5 points. So this plus this plus this plus this will give us a total of 28. 28%. So you have 30% for JAMB and you have 28% in O level. So 30.6 plus 28 is, is 58.6. This is not even close to 70%. This score you have for LASU when calculating aggregate is not up to 70%. So if you are considering changing your institution to LASU, you 78%, 58% can only get you admission to study educational courses. Likewise, this one, Unilag, you can study educational courses in Unilag. So if you are changing your institution with this 204 score, the best thing you need to do is look for institutions that their cutoff mark is 180. That if you want to study accounting, if Mr. Tunde still wants to study accounting, you should look for institution that cutoff is 180. And after calculating, they can still meet up with the school aggregate. Then you should know about the school aggregate calculation. As a candidate, you should know about the school you are changing to, how they calculate their aggregate. If you meet up with the aggregate course cutoff for that course you are changing to. Not that they say you should change to this. My friend want to change to computer science. You will now change to computer science. You are wasting the chances of gaining admission. So you need to be smart about your change of course. You need to be smart about the course you are changing to, and you need to be sure that you'll be admitted for that course, because these two universities are already competitive universities, because many students that choose this as first choice will be coming here for change of institution, and many students that did not meet cutoff will be say, okay, they'll use post JAMB score to meet up aggregates. They will now come to Unilag. So students will be moving from Unilag to LASU to Unilag. They'll be changing from Unilag to LASU to Unilag. So it's still competitive. These two institutions are competitive. So with this score, if you want to retain your Unilag, go for a course that is its aggregate is 58% and below, which are educational courses. We still have some non-educational courses that have 58% and below. But very important for those candidates that use awaiting result, and want to change institution or course. My advice for you is to wait. Is to what? Wait. Don't apply for a change of course yet. Don't apply for a change of course yet. If you are sitting for the present WAEC examination, wait until your WAEC result is out before you can say, okay, maybe for example, you chose LASU as your first institution, first choice institution. You chose LASU, and when registering for JAMB, your O level are awaiting results. They are all awaiting results. And let's say, for example, you applied to study accounting in LASU, and you did this JAMB subject combination. Your O level is awaiting results. Now, this JAMB score cannot give you using that previous O-level result we calculated, you will not still gain admission to study. You won't get 70% to study accounting with that good result or that B3. So except you are sure of having A1, except you are sure of having 5A1. That is when okay. That is why I said you should wait for your O-level result to come out so that you use your O-level result to to calculate the course cutoff that matches your total aggregate. Do you understand? So you don't need to apply for a change of course or institution if you are using a waiting result. Let your results come out before you apply. And some of you might be asking, won't change of institution and change of course be closed before the result will be out? No, the change of institution and course will still be on till your WAEC result comes out. And some of you will still ask that will post-JAM not be out before WAEC result comes out? Yes, some institution will announce registration of post-JAM before WAEC result will be out. But yet, some institution like LASU allows you to fill in awaiting results in your post-JAM registration. Then, before before the admission process starts, your result might be out. So when your result is out, you can now go back to the LASU portal to fill in your result. That is just that they will charge you for it, and also go to any accredited CBT center to upload the result. I hope you are getting my point. Good. So that is that concerning that. So you need, very importantly, before you consider changing your institution and course, you need to consider your JAMB score, you need to consider your O-level result, and you need to know how your institution calculates aggregate score per course, not just the general cutoff mark for the institution. You need to know the course cutoff, and you need to know how your institution calculates, the institution you are going to, how they calculate aggregate. So for these students that have O level, I would just advise that person to sit for JAMB again next year and work on getting the higher score in JAMB, or apply to study accounting in OSU, that's OOU. You'll be admitted to study accounting if it changes to OSU. You understand? So if you need a professional guidance on the change of institution and course, you can WhatsApp us on the WhatsApp number displayed on your screen, and we charge for it, but it's not expensive. So we are going to give you a video explanation on why you should change a course for that course and why you should select an institution that you're changing to. So we will give you detailed breakdown of courses you should change to if you want to retain the institution you picked as a first choice institution. So thank you and God bless.